Khalil Rountree reveals private messages from Conor McGregor pointing out mistake he made against Alex Pereira. A couple of days after the fight, I got some messages from Conor, and it was really cool to get some messages from him. Rountree told Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo on their Pound for Pound podcast. One thing he pointed out was that I could have put more pressure. If I would have been a little more relentless with my pressure and not backed off so much and retook the center of the cage, I think I would have been able to apply a little more damage to him. If I were to go back and replay this fight, I would probably just be a little bit more aggressive, like smart aggressive. Conor McGregor placed a huge bet on the UFC 307 main event. On Monday, McGregor posted proof of his bet slip to X, stating, "Another one in the bank, still on a roll, unbeaten at dual bits. I placed this bet last minute as the fighters made their walk out. I could not pick a winner right up to the bout, but just knew a KO was going to occur one way or the other with these two fighters facing off, so that was my bet. $1 million on a KO be either fighter at 1/5. Good bet, a solid $200,000 return. Nice." Daniel Cormier praises Ilia Topuria's on-quote smart approach to viral Max Holloway face-to-face. During a recent edition of Good Guy, Bad Guy with Chael Sonnen, DC explained how Topuria won the exchange with Holloway. Here's why this worked. You got to see Max Holloway a little bit mad, DC said of Topuria. It felt like Ilia has now gotten to the point where Max doesn't like him. He respected Max in his career path and the things that he did. I don't know that now. He respects him in that way, and I think it's very smart of Topuria not to hold that respect and have that like for Max Holloway. Because the last guy that Max Holloway fought, Justin Gaethje, who liked Max, he had no bad feelings towards Max. He said he couldn't get himself ready because Max is a great guy. Everybody loves Max. Max Holloway put him out with one of the most devastating knockouts we've seen in a really long time. Ilia Topuria is not having any of that. He's saying, "I'm gonna knock you out." This dude Ilia is so confident, but why wouldn't he be? He's the world champion. If you can fight the way that this man fights, then you can carry yourself in that way. Topuria will look to hand Holloway his first career knockout loss. Holloway earned the UFC featherweight title shot after wins over Arnold Allen, the Korean Zombie, and Justin Gaethje. Recently, Sean Strickland revealed that he approached Belal Muhammad and confronted him. Sean explained his hatred towards the welterweight champion. Quote, "He's such an effing little B, bro. Every time I see this mofo in person, I'm always like, hey, Belal Muhammad, you Miamian, where the F you're from. Let's handle this shit." And he puts his head down and goes away. Little freaking Twitter thumbs goes on Twitter and starts talking shit. Listen, dude, go to Palestine and fight for your country. Get the F out of here, you can.
Me and Thunder Thumbs himself, you guys. We're here. I'm here. We're all here. Let's have a party.
Francis Ngannou opens up on retirement plans ahead of PFL debut. Later this month in Saudi Arabia, Francis will face Renan Ferreira in his PFL debut. The 38-year-old hasn't fought in the cage in nearly 3 years, but he's still supremely confident. In a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Ngannou discussed his next fight against Problema. He also opened up about his combat sports future in general. There, Francis admitted that his retirement plans are quite fluid. The former UFC champion said he could retire as soon as 40 or as late as 42 years old. However, Ngannou added that he wants to leave the sport on top. He doesn't want to stay around too long and have the game push him around instead. "For sure, I still have a couple fights in both sports left," Francis stated in the interview. "I just turned 38, so I will say my retirement will be when I start getting around 41 or 42. It could be 40, but this is just in an exceptional case. This time I think I really have to enjoy my time inside the octagon and inside the ring, and then have my last dance and go home." He continued, "Heavyweights can go for a long time, but the thing here, I just want to say, I want to leave the sport before the sport leaves me. I would like to leave at the top of my game. We will see how it goes. You make plans, but then God has plans. We will see." Ilia Topuria explains why Max Holloway is not the best boxer in the UFC. Topuria and Holloway met virtually on the ESPN YouTube channel to promote their UFC 308 matchup. The interview started on a relatively positive note, with the UFC featherweight champ admitting he's been a fan of Blessed for a long time. However, things soon turned sour as El Matador outright rejected Holloway's skills and claimed to shut his lights out repeatedly. He stated the challenger lacks head movement, knockout power, and several other fundamentals to be called called the best boxer in the UFC. Bro, that's a shame. Don't say that again. I recommend don't say that again. Not head movement, not knockout power, not technique, and I saw him working with the pads. Bro, what the hell is this? Don't do that. Topuria also brought up Holloway's iconic knockout of Gaethje at UFC 300. He recognized that the moment was amazing for fans, but the final exchange had no technique and resembled a bar fight. As he said many times before, El Matador challenged the UFC veteran to stand and trade with him. He's confident about getting the better of Holloway in such an exchange because of his superior technique and power. The only thing exciting about that fight was the last 10 seconds, to be honest. I didn't see any technique in that fight. I didn't see any strategy. I didn't see anything. I just saw a bar fight, to be honest. It was very spectacular for the fans, but for me, as a professional, it was I don't know, not something very impressive, because you can impress everyone, but you know the technique behind that knockout, and it was zero. After watching Pereira versus Rountree, Jamahal Hill was one of the few in MMA who seemed unimpressed by the fight. As he left the arena, he was yawning in front of cameras when pressed for his reaction to the main event. In a recent upload to his YouTube channel, Hill explained his indifferent reaction to the UFC 307 main event. It's crazy how y'all see a clip with no context, no nothing, and y'all just be ready to talk bad and just attack and come disrespectful as ever. Hill said, "It's hilarious. Wasn't mic'd up or anything like that, so I couldn't explain the context of the yawn and things like that after the fight. I think I did hear a reporter told Alex, oh, Jamahal said the fight was boring. I never said the fight was boring." Now to the yawn. The yawn at the end was it entertaining? Yes. Was I impressed? No, I'm not impressed. You know, I'm ready to go. Did I see anything in the cage that scares me or that I didn't expect to see? No. So as far as reacting and everything, I don't think I really need to do much of a reaction to this fight, because before, if you watch my breakdowns, you can see I told you exactly how this fight was going to go. Hill was supposed to face Rountree at UFC 303 before withdrawing due to injury. Sean O'Malley says he will return sooner than expected. I got surgery Thursday. Today is Saturday. It's been 2 days. I feel great. I'm gonna come back better than ever. I'll be back next week to sparring. No, I do think I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to recover as fast as I possibly can, and I'm going to get back. O'Malley said on his YouTube channel, everyone is like, hey, don't come back too soon. I'm coming back the right amount of soon. I want to be back as soon as possible. I want to get these fights in while I'm still young enough. I turned 30 this month. I want to recover, do everything right, but I want to get back in there April, May, June latest. I think I can be back before that. March even would be crazy, but who knows? I'm just going with the flow day by day, O'Malley added. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.